500 years ago, at a mythical time when humans coexisted with mystical, magical creatures, a young snake hunter named Zwan sacrificed himself to save a girl who had transformed from a white snake. 500 years later, during the Southern Song Dynasty, Xiao Bai, the white snake girl, returns and vows to find and repay her savior, believing that he could be out there somewhere, now reincarnated. Her younger sister, Zhao King, the green snake, accompanies her. King is worried that human life is too short for them to be together, since they are themselves different, immortal, and powerful creatures. However, Bai still insists on repaying the man in his present life, and she convinces her sister to accompany her. Sometime later, Bai drops her hairpin at the broken bridge, which is picked up by a young, kind doctor named Zhu Xian, who returns it to her. Zhu finds her face familiar, but their interaction is shortened by a lady who needs treatment for her vomiting grandson, pulling the doctor away. The two sisters later cross paths with Zhu, and they notice he is liked by the villagers for his kindness and free treatments. Bai also learns about his family background and his sister who passed away, leaving his brother-in-law. However, their meeting is once again interrupted by some villagers who also need treatment, and they again carry him away. This cycle of finding and pulling away repeats itself a dozen more times that day until Bai gets fed up. That evening, when Zhu's boatman wants the famous doctor to dine with them, Bai magically ties him down. Zhu leaves in Bai's boat, and the two play a common song as they observe the Lantern Festival. The following morning, Zhu explains to his brother-in-law, Captain Li, a policeman, about the girl he fell in love with, whose background he doesn't know, but still wishes to marry her. Zhu takes Li to meet the sisters at a restaurant suggested by Bai. There, they actually owed some money, but still sneak in anyway. When Captain Li meets the sisters, he feels nervous. It's as if they've met somewhere before. The restaurant's owner, Zhao, nags Dr. Zhu to pay his debt, and Miss Bai pays up for him with 3 of her jewel hairpins. Captain Li gets excited seeing how lucky his in-law Zhu is, and says who knows how much good he might have done in his previous life to deserve such a good wife who fell from the sky. Zhu Xian marries Miss Bai, and Bai later decides to stop using magic and live as a normal human wife. She also buries her green magical hairpin. However, her sister Zhao still chooses to keep hers, and Bai asks her not to cause any trouble for them. Later, Zhu and Bai return to the village from the honeymoon, where they find a plague outbreak. The drugstores also sell expensive medicine, and so most poor villagers are helpless. That night, Bai and her sister Zhao King investigate and find out that the city wells were actually poisoned by a rat demon poised as a healer. He did so to sell his pills for a profit. While Rat is busy swindling the villagers, Bai distracts him with a song, and Zhao steals his money. Bai later takes the money to Zhu, who needed to open a drugstore to help the villagers, but it's still not enough. Bai's sister Zhao, who is eavesdropping on their conversation, therefore decides to find them some more silver from the government office's collections. Zhao therefore transforms into a green snake and steals more cash from the offices. The money helps Zhu build a drugstore, but Bai is not happy with her sister's tactics and warns her against it. Later, Bai suggests they name the store Baowa Hall, a name she recalled from Zhu's previous life, and he loves it. Zhu also suggests they head to the mountains to seek a rare herb that cures the illness. There, Zhu trips over while climbing, forcing Bai to use her magic to save him. However, she convinces Zhu that it was the mountain gods who saved his life, seeing how kind he was of a man. Zhu in turn vows to use the herbs righteously for the free treatment of the villagers. Sometime later, there arrives in town a serious Buddhist monk leader, named Zia Fahai, who is irritated by demons living amongst humans. Fahai tells Officer Lee that he got drawn in by the strange supernormal phenomenon happening there, like the plague and the mysterious disappearance of several hundreds of silver coins from government offices. Fahai immediately summons his magical beads, which transform into a small monster that sniffs around. The beast points out that the thief came in through the small window frames. It also unveils a medicine bag, which Zhao King purposely left behind, and they begin tracing its owner. Elsewhere, after the opening of the drugstore, Captain Lee organizes a play performance for his brothers-in-law's business. There, Bai meets an old friend, wolf spirit Shira, who is the one who made her the magical hairpin. Later, the rat demon, angry with Bai for taking his business, decides to take revenge. He starts by befriending Zhu Jian and tries to warn him that he's living with a monster. He even hands him a note to run away out of town from the danger. When Zhu gets home, the note starts transforming into a dark essence. Bai immediately distracts him as her sister, Zhao King, battles the monster. After defeating it, Zhu turns back and reveals that the note was actually given to him by a strange fortune teller who claims that it will protect him from the demon he lives with. He says he looks like a mouse, and the sisters recognize him. Zhao King then chases after the rat man, but he's captured by Fahai's magic monster. Fahai appears, and Zhao King attempts to fight him, but he seems to have attained a high spiritual excellence as he thwarts her. Zhao ends up biting his hand and escaping through the river while Rat Man gets captured. The following day is the Dragon Boat Festival. As the villagers are enjoying, Monk Fahai is busy creating magic wine to eliminate snakes and insects. Zhao King refuses to drink the wine, but Bai does, believing it could cause no harm since she has trained for years. Shortly afterwards, Bai feels dizzy and decides to head home. Her husband Zhu then follows her through a pond she might have crossed. There, the poisoned wine forces Bai to transform into her giant white snake self. Zhu sees this large snake and faints. Bai attempts to revive him, but her magic fails. Without an option, she takes him to her old friend Shira, who made her the green magic hairpin for help. Shira tells her the only way to save her beloved is to find a magic herb from the Kunlun Mountains, the coldest place. Bai travels there and picks up the magic herb, but two white crane brothers appear to stop her. However, she does manage to escape their traps and return safely. Shira heals Zhu and reminds him while asleep to revisit her when he has trouble in the future. Zhu later wakes up terrified from the dream he just had about a white snake and a wolf spirit. Bai tells her to drink some water. It was just a dream. Zhu Jian has now developed a fear of snakes due to the enormous one he saw in the pond. The sisters therefore devise a plan to make him more courageous. When Zhu takes Bai to the pond to see it, Zhao King forms a large snake with her magic, which chases after them. Before it swallows them, Zhao King appears and kills it with a katana, eliminating the fear. Captain Lee watched the act and got mesmerized by Zhao's fighting skills. Therefore, the following day, he decides to find her a suitor. Zhao King is not impressed by any of the weak men, though. Later, Monk Fahai appears to ask Captain Lee about the snake-killing incident. Lee immediately thinks the monk could be a worthy suitor, so he dresses him up and sends him out to meet the lady. During their chat, Zhao notices his monk markings and escapes before he starts chanting mantras. Fahai later visits Zhu's home to warn them about the demon snake and for cleansing. There, he asks to meet Bai alone. Fahai then uses his magic to unveil Bai's white snake form and tries to kill her with his beast. Zhu is shocked by his wife's transformation, but since he still loves her, he steps in to stop the monk and steals his magic beads. Bai escapes injured, and Zhu runs to Shira, the wolf spirit, for help, with the monster hunting her wife. There, Shira hands him a flute, which has the powers to trap the monster. However, its downside is that the energy required to play the flute can drain one's life force if used in large quantity. Zhu traps the monster and returns it to the monk, Fahai. However, Fahai captures him as bait, hoping the two sisters will appear to his rescue. Meanwhile, Zhao King finds her wounded sister by the lakeside and picks her up. Captain Li is sad that his brother was captured by the monk and meets up his in-laws, Bai and Zhao King. Zhao King is furious and plans to attack the temple. Bai also unearths her hidden magic hairpin, this time vowing for revenge. Later that evening, King sneaks into the monastery and rescues Zhu Zhan. He first scolds him for bringing the monk before revealing the news of her sister's pregnancy with his child. Monk Fahai spots them leaving and follows them. Zhu reunites with his wife Bai, but their happy moment is interrupted by Fahai. Bai asks Fahai why he is a monk, but yet so heartless. However, Fahai firmly believes that humans and supernatural beings cannot coexist. He then attacks Bai with his magic beast, and her sister Zhao King joins in. The monk overpowers the sisters and traps Bai with his magic spells. Suddenly, though, Zhu Zhan starts playing the flute given to him by Wolf Shira, which fights off the monk's magic. As he passionately plays the flute, he defeats Fahai, but just as Shira had warned him, the magic energy drains his life force and he stays stiff. Again, Fahai rises to attack Bai, but she emits a different red magic which blocks his attacks. Fahai realizes that Bai was pregnant with a child, which saved them, indicating that it was under protection from the spiritual realm. This shocks and puzzles Monk Fahai. The sisters disappear, and Fahai asks Captain Li to save his brother-in-law and bring him to the temple afterwards where he will take care of him. Sometime later, Bai delivers a beautiful baby, and Zhao King helps her to take care of it. Later, Bai decides to find her beloved husband at the Jinshan temple, and Zhao King accompanies her as usual. They once again cross the broken bridge where Bai first met Zhu Zhan. There, Zhao King asks Bai if her journey in the human world was really worth it. Bai replies that even if it wasn't worth it, the memories are worth treasuring. As the film narrows down, the two sisters vow to march to Jinshan Temple for their beloved and overturn it no matter how heavy it is. This brings the thrilling film to its end.